In Microsoft Teams, you can do a post or you can do a chat. So what's the difference? When you do a post, you're generally communicating with all the members of that channel. When you do a chat, you're conversing with just one or a few people directly. First thing I want to look at is some of the tips and tricks that you've got available to you if you do posts, and then we'll look at chats. First of all, as I mentioned, a post is with regards to a channel. So here, for example, I've got a research and development channel, and I can see there's a number of posts, and I can start a new post with just this button here. But let's say I wanted to go to the general channel. Now, in the earlier videos, we talked about the purpose of the general channel was to make announcements, introduce new staff, and possibly let people know when staff are leaving. Those types of things are what go into general. And of course, every member of that team has access to the general channel, which isn't necessarily the case with the other channels. So let's look at first of all about starting a post. I'm going to click the Start a Post button. Now when we start a post, we don't have to enter a subject, but I highly recommend that you do. Posts can get very busy. There can be lots of posts, and if you start giving your posts subjects and pretty standardized subjects, it makes them really easy to search and to find any posts that have got subjects. So I'm going to mention that we've got a board meeting, and here those that would like to attend, please do, this Friday, 10 a.m. And so I'm just going to post that. And so here I have my post. But above that, you see what we call an announcement. When I go to start a post, in front of the post button is a button here called Post Type. If I click this, I actually have the choice of a post or an announcement. If I choose announcement, then it looks far more eye-catching. And so here I'm actually going to say Christmas party. Here I've got a button which allows me to change the colour scheme. And so I might go for something more red, that it's Christmas. And the subheading would be message. Stay tuned for more details to come. So we really want a way to easily find a post by its subject, and that's why we give it such important subject lines. And then I'm going to post that. So this is a post and this is an announcement. If I want to edit a post or edit an announcement, I simply go for the pen in the top right corner. Sorts of things that you can do with posts and announcements include the setting button in the top right corner. I can say who can reply to this, everyone or just you and the moderators. So I'm going to let everybody reply to this. But the other thing is, do I post this just in this channel or do I announce this in multiple channels? If I wanted to put it in multiple channels, I would then go for this plus and I would choose those channels that I wanted to mention that we had a Christmas party on the 12th of December, and I'll update. So I'll put it in multiple channels and everyone can reply, and then I'll post it. So think about, do you want to do a post or an announcement? When it comes to doing posts and announcements, and even chats for that matter when we look shortly, it becomes quite hard to see a lot on your screen because some of these things are quite big. You can hold the control key, and if your mouse has a wheel, move the wheel towards you to make things smaller, and you can see more on the screen. And as I scroll up, you can see a lot more. But if I hold the control key and move the mouse away from me, things become bigger. So wheel in, wheel out, and find a comfort zone depending on what device you're working with. Now some people like to use keys because their mouse doesn't have a wheel. If you hold the control and press the equals key, you'll zoom in, and the minus key, you'll zoom out. So control minus and control equals. If you want a third way, then go for the settings button up here, and you've got a plus to zoom in and a minus to zoom out the zoom. But I'm going to take it down a little bit just so you can see me more clearly. So that's zooming in and zooming out. The other thing I like to do is like to put my most recent posts at the top, typically at the bottom, and I have to scroll to the bottom. I just want anything new to be at the very top. So to switch that, I'm sitting in this particular channel. It can be done on a channel by channel basis, and I'll hit this little button here called More Options, and I'll show new posts at the top. And instead of a Start a Post button, you'll notice I now get Post or Announcement, which makes it really easy for me to decide what I would like to do. So now I have another post, but it's regarding the annual Christmas party. So I'm going to do a post. I'm going to give it the subject Christmas party, so it's meaningful. And I'm going to type a message. This year, the party will be held at our Papamoa office. Now, I'd like to spell it correctly. Let me just zoom in so you can see what I'm doing here. P, and now I need an A, a Māori vowel with a macron on the top. Whenever you want a character that is not on your keyboard, hold the Windows logo key and press full stop. This will give you symbols. Now you might look a little bit different if you're on Windows 10, but you'll still be able to insert symbols. If you're on Windows 10, you'll have a symbol at the top, which is a Greek symbol, which looks like this. Click that for your symbols. For Windows 11, which I'm on, I'm just going to click the symbols button at the top here, and in here I will find an A with a line above it. There are a variety of symbols, from general punctuation to currency symbols to geometric symbols, and Latin symbols are where you'll find your Māori vowels. So I'm just going to do another P and then Windows full stop and another A, Papamoa, and then MOA. Full stop and post. If you ever need any sort of symbols, any special characters, anything that's not on your keyboard, Windows logo key and full stop. Now, when you have a lot of posts and a lot of chats, things get very busy very quickly. And so we often need to search for a particular group of posts concerning maybe a new staff member or a Christmas party or the AGM. At the very top of Microsoft Teams is your search box. And if I was to type AGM and press enter, all of the things in Microsoft Teams concerning the word AGM will be shown. But if I want to hone into just the messages about AGM, there's just the simple one. If I want to hone into people, nothing in that concern. And any files concerning the AGM, there they are there. But I want to go to messages, and then I'm able to see in the App Project Team General channel, there was a message about the AGM being Thursday at 1 p.m. in the boardroom. And I can hit this X to clear the search. If I want to look now for Christmas and press enter, this is all the information regarding Christmas. So I can see here it's in Papamoa. I can see here that there's more details to come. I can see that it was posted in all the channels. The channel's mentioned at the top here, and I can click on it to go into that particular announcement about the Christmas party, and that's in the Go to Market Plan channel. So really easy to search up here throughout Microsoft Teams. I can even click this Go to Channel button to go into that particular channel. Now let's have a look at chat. Now when it comes to chatting, then that's when you want a conversation directed at a particular person or a particular group of people. Now there's a variety of ways you could chat. For example, I might start by going to the chat button on the app bar on the left. If I go to that chat button, then I can choose who I want to chat to. If I then decide, well, I just want to create a new chat, then I can hit this button here, or Control N. It then asks me, who do you want to chat with? So I might say I want to chat with SSPC 7 and SSPC 8. Now I regularly chat with these two because people that I'm mentoring at the moment. So I'll hit this little drop down here And this little group is my mentoring group. Give your chat groups names, and then they will appear on the left-hand side here, much like my office colleagues or all members or a particular chat group here. But there's the group name for my two chat persons, and then I'll type a message. Shall we discuss the new initiatives this week? And enter. Straight away, I've got my new chat group, mentoring, appearing on the left-hand side here, and there is my particular chat. I can see in the top right corner that there are 3 participants in this mentoring chat group. I can click the button and I can see who those participants are, and I can add more people to this chat or conversation, and I can actually leave the conversation myself. Maybe I've started something and now I can pull back, and I'll just click away. If I regularly communicate with this mentoring group, I can go to more options and I can pin this group, and so they will appear in my pin section at the top here, and I can just as easily unpin. Now often when we create a chat message, let me just click here and type a message, how about Friday? When I press enter, it often sends the message, and I didn't want to send it, I actually wanted a carriage return. Let me go back to this particular message and let me go to these options here, and let me actually delete that message. I didn't mean to send it. Now I'll go back to here and go Control-Shift-X. As soon as I go Control-Shift-X, it pops out or opens up the message window. So now pressing enter won't automatically send the message. So it's a good idea to just press Control-Shift-X whenever you're doing a chat. How about this Friday? Question mark. I can do 9 a.m. or 11:30 a.m. Let me know. Again, just like a post, if you want a character that doesn't reside on your keyboard, Windows full stop brings up a whole lot of sort of emojis, GIFs, things like that. If you've got an older version than Windows 11, you may have limited resources, but you can still do things like happy faces, thumbs up, and symbols. So be aware that if you need to include those in your chat, you can do. And then we just go for the send option in the bottom right corner here, and that would send my message to those people. When I am creating a post or a chat, it's sometimes good practice to use an @ mention. This works in emails as well. I'm going to go to the all members chat group where everybody pretty much is a member. I'm going to type @ and then I'm going to choose from the list of members who belong to this chat group who I want to direct this statement to. So SSPC6, did you get the feedback you were looking for? Question mark. Control-Shift-X. Then I'm going to go enter @ and then I'm going to choose a different person. How did you find your meeting went? Enter, do an @ choose another person. We should organize your induction next. And so using the @ symbol brings up a quick list of everybody who belongs to that channel or that team or that chat group that you can particularly target a particular comment to. And then I'm just going to post that. Or send that, I should say. Send that. Now, when you're viewing chats, there's actually 2 ways that you can view chats. One is comfy, that's what it looks like at the moment, and one is called compact mode. When you want to scan through a lot of chats quickly, it might be helpful to switch to compact mode. So let's explore this. If I go to these three dots here called settings and more, I can then go to settings. I then have the option appearance and accessibility. And it's in here that you can choose like themes. Like I've got a light theme at the moment, but some people choose classic. For example, classic looks like the purple. Or I'll choose dark, which looks like this. Or I'll go back to light because it's what suits me. But further down is the chat density, and that's what I wanted to look at. At the moment, it's comfy, and it shows message previews in your chat list. So if I turn that off, but kept the comfy, and I went back to the chat, you would see that that's how your chat would look. But if I go back to settings, and I go back to appearance, and I turn it on to compact, appearance and accessibility, compact, show message previews in chat, and then go and look at chats, you can see it's a lot more compact and it's left align. And if I go back to settings and I go back to appearance and accessibility and say show preview and compact and have a look at chat, you get a bit of a preview. When you're working with chat, it can end up being very busy very, very quickly. And we saw how you could zoom in and zoom out. But what I might suggest also is there is a compact mode rather than a comfy mode. Okay, so I'm just in a chat session. If I go for these three dots, settings and more, and I go into settings, we have appearance and accessibility. Now that's where you can choose themes, for example. You can choose dark, or you can choose classic, which gives you your purple back. But I'm just going to stick with the light. But more importantly, we've got comfy here, where you're sort of getting a preview of what's in the message. Where what some people will do is just change it to compact, and they'll actually say, don't give me a message preview in the chat list. And it just means that things are a lot tighter. And so when I go to chat, things are a lot more tighter and easier and more compact. Have a look and see how that looks in your chat room. The other thing is when you are creating a chat, you can actually delay the delivery, much like an email. So let's say I'm going to send a chat to Carol and Matt, and I'm going to type a message, Control-Shift-X, and well done. Your review. All right, so then I want to send that, but I want to delay the delivery so it goes out tomorrow. I'm not going to be around tomorrow, so I want it to go tomorrow. I'll be in a meeting. So I'm going to right click the send button and I'm going to schedule a date tomorrow, 31st of October, and a time, 9 a.m, and send at scheduled time. And that's exactly when it will send it. And so I can just hit the send button, knowing that that will send on the 31st of October at 9 a.m. I also want to share this chat or a post with somebody via email. I'm going to go to a post that I've got on one of my chat groups. I'm going to click on this message. I'm going to hit the three dots and I want to share it to Outlook. To share this conversation over email, I can now send it to somebody that I know would like a copy of this as well. So I'm going to send it to this person, all members, chat conversation from Teams, and I'm just going to hit send. And that will send that particular chat or post via email to a particular person. Nowadays, a lot of organisations still rely heavily on email, and Teams knows this. I've got an email, therefore, that I want to share with a particular channel. So I'm going to click on this channel here, Digital Assets Web. I'm going to click the More Options button and I'm going to get their email address. Eventually this window comes up. I can go into Advanced Settings. Anyone can send emails to this address, or only members of this team can send emails to this address, or somebody with the correct domain name. I'm just going to leave it that only members of this team can email, and then I want to actually copy that email address. Now I'm going to go to the email that I want to send them, and I'm going to paste the email address there. And so that is the email address of that particular channel. And so I'll just hit send, and that will send the contents of that email to that particular channel. And eventually here is the email, and I can click this option here to view the original email. But if an email comes in, you can share it with a channel in Microsoft Teams. Now for some of us, our eyesight is not always the best, or our hearing. And so what Microsoft Teams has done is provided an immersive reader. Let's say I go to a chat, for example, and let's say I'm a member of this particular group. And if I click on this particular chat here and I hit the little dots here, I can actually ask it to give me more actions, and in the more actions, the immersive reader. The immersive reader makes the font easy to read, larger to read, and I can use this button to actually change the text preferences further by increasing the size even further, and even increasing the spacing and changing the font to one of these fonts which are really visually easy to recognize. Also, we can ask for contrasting colors, and we can choose a color. So there's a number of options here, as well as going into the grammar options, and as well as going into the reading preferences. We can ask for different line spacing options, for example. We can even choose a language to translate. So the immersive reader is very good. If I then hit this play button,
Kathy Barker, October 30th, 2023.
and this pause button, I'm able to get it to read to me so that I can clearly understand what the message was about. So the immersive reader makes information more accessible to certain people who struggle with translation, language, visual, hearing, all sorts of things. To go back, I'm just going to hit this exit button, which will take me back to my chat group. In a chat or in a post, it is possible to do a quick poll. A quick poll is a quick question that you want to throw out there to the members of that chat group or the members of that channel, and ask them a question and get their feedback. If I'm in a chat as I am now and I'm looking at all members, I might actually click on a new message, and then I'm going to click the three dots for more apps. I can choose polls, and if I couldn't see polls, I would ask to see all, and I would find polls. Or you can search for polls at the top here. When I click polls, I'm then able to ask a question. My question is, which area should we focus on first? And then I have options. So I can say, should we focus on merchandising? Should we focus on brand? Should we focus on innovation? Or I'll add my own options such as marketing, engineering, HR, sales, or research. So some things that will anticipate and provide for you. And if I decide actually brand's not what we want, so I'm just going to hit this because that falls under marketing, I'm just going to hit the trash can and get rid of that. And innovation, that's going to be part of our research, so I'm going to take that off as well. So you can easily add options here. Now then you decide also, do you want them to be able to select more than one item? If so, then you would turn on multiple selections. If you turned it off, they can only select one and they become circles. If you turn it on, it becomes tick boxes and they can tick more than one. You can also record the names of the respondents, which is only visible to the person who created the poll. And you can also share the results with respondents or not. But I'm going to preview and have a look at my poll. And so this is what my question will look like. The results will be shared, the full names will be recorded, and these are the areas that I'm asking, and then they'll submit the vote. So I really like that. So I'm actually going to hit send and send the poll to all the members in that chat group. And here it is here. So which areas? In my mind, I think we should focus on research. So I'm going to submit my vote. Now I can see I've got one result as far as research goes. At any point in time, if I go to this chat group, I can see how the poll is progressing. And I can see there's a 33% one vote option for engineering, and 2 people, 66% of the votes, has been for research. And we've got 3 responses. So a poll is a very quick way of putting a question out there to all the members who belong to a particular channel or all the members who belong to a particular chat group and asking them to submit a vote. Also, I may wish to pin this to the top of my chat group until I get all the responses in. So I'm going to go to the responses here and I'm going to go for my More Options button and pin the results, which makes that the card appears at the top now. And if I click it, I can see easily how the results are coming together for that particular poll. And it makes it easy for me to find that poll by pinning it to the top of that chat group. Whereas if I was in a team and I was in a particular channel and I wanted to do a post and that post involved a poll, I would go into the plus, and if I couldn't see the poll app, I would type poll. There it is there. I would click it and I'd simply create another poll. Basically, Polls is an application that is included in Microsoft Teams, and as it says here, it allows you to easily create choice polls, quizzes, and word cloud polls. Before or during your meeting, you can collect responses in real time, and basically it's a shorter version of Microsoft Forms. If you wish to create a video chat, then I'm going to select all members. I'm going to go to the top right of my chat group and place a video call. Alternatively, if you want to do an audio call, just to the right of the video call button is an audio call button. In a very short amount of time, you're going to end up with a lot of posts and a lot of chats. When I'm in the chats, for example, we may want to filter out certain chats. Now in the chat panel at the top here, not only do you have a new chat button, but you also have a filter button. And notice the shortcut key is Ctrl-Shift-F. If I hit this option, I'm able to say, look, I'd like to filter out all the things regarding reviews. And here are 3 chat channels that have a mention of reviews. If I hit this button here, I can ask for more filters, which means I only want to know about the unread ones. I only want to know about meetings that include the word review or chats that include the word review. So the filter option is very good, and we can close the filter as well. More options include marking all items as read, if you want to quickly do that. If you have got a message that is not written in a language that you easily relate to, you can go into More Options Translation and into Settings. Translate messages into this language, and I'll choose French, for example. If I close and go back into the chat and I click on a particular message, and then I go to my More Options and I choose Translate, it will translate that language into French. If I wish to translate it back to English, I go into More Options, Translation, and I put it back to see the original message. The search box at the top offers quite a few commands, and we've introduced ourselves to a few, like be back soon, away, available, chat, things like that. But if you click in the search box and put a slash, you'll actually see a list of the types of things that you can do, such as available, chat, call. These are the ones I've used so far. We can, for example, go into the settings, go into help, and we can ask to get help, and we can search box. And you can see there's a whole lot of them. And here they all are here. So use the help whenever you're looking for something in particular, which you'll find just under Settings and under Help.